5 Best CPU for RTX 3080 Reviews in 2022. In 2020, NVIDIA unveiled its latest and most powerful GPU series, which is the RTX 30 series of graphics cards. Even though the stock situation was a bit unstable for these cards in the beginning, you can easily get your hands on one nowadays without much of an issue. And if you are thinking of building an ultimate gaming setup powered by an RTX 3080 graphics card, you must pick the best suited components to get the most out of it. Mostly, the CPU that you are going to pair with the graphics card makes a lot of difference in the overall performance of your setup. Number 1. AMD Ryzen 9 5950X for RTX. AMD has been dominating the CPU market for quite some time now. Thus, if you want an ultimate desktop CPU, then AMD might be the right choice. Securing the first position on our picks of the best CPU for RTX 3080, we have the AMD Ryzen 9 5950X processor. Though this CPU comes at a very expensive price tag, it is the most powerful option you will find today, which is ultimately future-proof and suitable for almost every application. It offers 16 cores and 32 threads so that multitasking won't be a problem anymore. Even with that, you will get a max boost clock speed of up to 4.9 GHz. The AMD Ryzen 9 5950X offers 73 MB of cache, which will certainly contribute to the performance capacity and speed of the CPU. And it is an overclockable CPU that is already unlocked for overclocking before shipping. Even though it is one of the latest offerings from AMD, it requires an AM4 socket so that you will be able to install it even on motherboards such as B550 or X570. Best features are: features 16 core and 32 threads, 9 GHz max boost clock speed, TDP rating of 105 watts, offers 73 MB cache capacity, requires AMD AM4 CPU socket, comes with 3 years warranty period. Pros: the most powerful CPU from our picks today. The best option for content creators and streamers. Cache capacity is pretty high. Cons: cooler is not included with the CPU. Number 2. Intel Core i9-11900 kelvins for RTX. Intel is also offering some fine options with the launch of its 11th gen of CPUs. The CPU mentioned here is one of the highly powerful options designed by Intel. Coming in the second position, we have the Intel Core i9-11900 kelvins desktop CPU. This is an 8-core 16-thread CPU designed by Intel, which is unlocked by default for overclocking. It can be installed on any motherboard that supports the LGA 1200 socket. The Intel Core i9-11900 kelvins also features 16 MB of L3 cache capacity, which allows faster data transfer, which ultimately increases the operating speed of the CPU. Similar to most other CPUs designed by Intel, the Intel Core i9-11900 kelvins is also fabricated using the 14nm technology, which offers great efficiency and offers decent processing power within a comparatively lower power consumption. The Intel Core i9-11900 kelvins also features a built-in UHD 750 graphics controller so that the CPU can display high-quality graphics on the display. Another great feature of the Intel Core i9-11900 kelvins is its boosted clock speed. Unlike most other options mentioned today, this CPU can operate at a high speed of up to 5.3 GHz, which is pretty powerful for all types of applications. Best features are: features 8 core and 16 threads, 3 GHz max boost clock speed, TDP rating of 125 watts, offers 16 MB cache capacity, requires LGA 1200 CPU socket, comes with 3 years warranty period. Pros: Comparatively more power efficient than previous gen options. One of the latest offerings from Intel. Pretty cheaper option compared to our previous pick. Cons. Cache capacity is very low in comparison. Number 3. AMD Ryzen 9 5900X for RTX. AMD's 5th generation of CPUs is already quite popular due to their power efficiency as well as performance. However, AMD has multiple options available with the 5th Gen series which can be suited for a variety of applications. In the third position, we have the AMD Ryzen 9 5900X. It is also one of the latest offerings from the AMD 5th Gen of CPUs. But, it is a cheaper option compared to our previous pick and is designed for less powerful applications. But, the AMD Ryzen 9 5900X still features 12 cores and 24 threads, making it one of the high-end options to be included on our picks today. With that, you will also get a CPU speed of 4.8 GHz which ensures at least 100 FPS in almost every game, based on the in-game settings and of course, the RTX 3080 graphics card. The maximum temperature rating for the AMD Ryzen 9 5900X is about 90 degrees Celsius, which is still manageable with a decent liquid cooler or an AIO cooling system. However, AMD is not including a cooler with this CPU, so make sure you buy one alongside the CPU as you won't be able to install it without one. It also has a similar compatibility rating as the high-end AMD Ryzen CPUs with AM4 socket. The AMD Ryzen 9 5900X also offers 70 MB cache capacity similar to most other high-end options from AMD, which makes it a better choice in general. Best features are: features 12 core and 24 threads, 8 GHz max boost clock speed, TDP rating of 105 watts, offers 70 MB cache capacity, requires AMD AM4 CPU socket, comes with 3 years warranty period. Pros: high cache capacity, high clock speed along with high core count. One of the latest options from AMD. Cons: requires a liquid cooling system before you can install it. Number 3. Intel Core i7-10700 kelvins for RTX. Even though the 11th Gen series from Intel is its latest offering, there are a lot of people who still prefer the 10th Gen options due to their reliability and performance. Thus, we are including some great picks from the 10th Gen series designed by Intel. Intel has designed a variety of great CPUs with its 10th Gen series of processors. And as they are readily available right now, we are including the Intel Core i7-10700 kelvins on our picks today. Despite being a high-profile option, this CPU does not cost as high as other premium options in the market. The Intel Core i7-10700 kelvins features 8 cores and 16 threads, which is slowly becoming the minimum requirement for heavy AAA game titles. With that, this CPU also offers a high CPU speed of 5.1 GHz, which is certainly beneficial in the long run. However, one of the major drawbacks of the Intel CPUs has always been its power draw. Even though this CPU only offers 8 cores, it comes with a TDP of 125 watts, which is quite high. And if you decide to overclock the CPU, it will require even higher power input. Apart from that, the Intel Core i7-10700 kelvins performs really well under high load thanks to the Intel Turbo Boost Max 3.0 technology. You will be able to install this CPU on any motherboard that comes with an LGA 1200 socket, which should take care of the compatibility issue for most users. Best features are: features 8 core and 16 threads, 1 GHz max boost clock speed, TDP rating of 125 watts, offers 16 MB cache capacity, requires LGA 1200 CPU socket, comes with 3 years the warranty period. Pros: great option despite being the 10th Gen option from Intel. Max clock speed is quite high. Supports Intel Turbo Boost Max 3.0 technology. Cons. TDP is high according to the core count. Number 5. AMD Ryzen 7 5800X for RTX. The 5th generation of CPUs from AMD has a lot of options, and most of them are perfectly compatible with high-end GPUs like the RTX 3080. Therefore, we will be including some more 5th gen AMD CPUs on our picks. The AMD Ryzen 7 5800X is one of the budget-friendly options compared to the options we have seen so far. As you might have noticed, high-performance CPUs are generally very expensive. But the AMD Ryzen 7 5800X features 8 cores and 16 threads on the processor, even with the lesser expensive price tag. It operates at a clock speed of 4.7 GHz, which will ensure an enjoyable performance in almost every game you play with your RTX 3080 graphics card. The AMD Ryzen 7 5800X has full support for DDR3 and it can be installed on any official AMD AM4 rated motherboard. This includes the high-end premium motherboard options like X570 along with budget options such as the B550. This is also an unlocked CPU so that you can easily overclock the unit to get an even higher clock speed. But before that, make sure you get your hands on a decent cooler, as AMD does not include one with this CPU. Coming to the cache capacity, the AMD Ryzen 7 5800X also features 36 MB of cache, which is considerably better than its competitors. Best features are: features 8 core and 16 threads, 7 GHz max boost clock speed, TDP rating of 105 watts, offers 36 MB cache capacity, requires AMD AM4 CPU socket, comes with 3 years the warranty period. Pros: great performance in high-end gaming. Max boost speed is high. High core count within an affordable price range. Cons: cooler is not included with the CPU.